Welcome back. This is Politics Today, hapa Science Television. Hapa tunachapa siasa. By the way, my name is Jonah Simba. My sign language interpreter in this section is Wanjang Ethe. I'm with your good guest today, James Amwono. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Tax expert.
Yes.
Mem Tax Consortium.
Correct.
Yeah. Tax expert. Feel free to share your views with us. Go to YouTube, check Science TV, check these shows there. Give us your views. Some of you also attempt to give me some feedback on my TikTok, whatever, Facebook. Feel free. You can ask me for a friend's request. I'll give you some views on what we are talking about today, Jonah Simba. Now, yesterday was a very heavy day, James.
Correct.
It's important for us to say pole.
True.
Yeah, to people. Yeah,
very
to
important.
people.
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday was a very heavy day. What's your opinion about yesterday?
It was a very tough day for all Kenyans. And to start with, really we really empathize with the people, the dealing what happened. And I think it is high time we do things right. Because basically the whole matter is on taxation. The whole matter is on accountability. The whole matter is on institutions.
Right.
I'm very certain that if we were to follow the law, we would not see what we saw yesterday.
Right.
But one there's looseness somewhere that we really need to emphasize on, and basically is on the institutions.
Right.
I'm very certain if the police did what they were supposed to do correctly, they really will not be seeing ugly images as it is today.
Right.
I'm very also certain that if the taxation measures that are supposed to be put in place as per the law are done,
Yes.
then we'll not have a problem. But you know, one way or the other, we are not doing it right, so that's why people are agitated. And you know, agitation is not the best, but it's out of frustration. So I'm really asking the government really to listen to the people.
Right.
So that we don't see such kind of animosities that we saw yesterday. But the people on the matter yesterday, the Gen Zs, so to speak,
Yeah.
I really empathize with them, and I join other Kenyans in making sure that let us do the right thing. Let us be accountable. Let the leaders be accountable, so that, because that's all that they're looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
They say they are not employed.
Yes.
Many of these Gen Zs, they say they don't have employment. We have people in employment also really agitated. I don't know what your opinion would be. What does someone who's employed, what does that payslip look like? What are the kinds of taxation that you think is agitating people who are employed? Let's begin there maybe.
Okay, maybe if you look at it, once somebody is employed,
Yes.
he has pay to deal with, he has NSF to deal with,
Yes.
he has, it used to be called SHA, it is now, it used to be called NIF, now it's called SHA.
Yes.
Then we have the affordable housing levy to deal with.
Yes.
Then we have the other miscellaneous that maybe he has gotten a mortgage or he has a loan to deal with. So at the end of the day, we realize that whatever he goes home with, even if his pay was reasonably high, then you find that the net effect will be very low.
Okay.
And that also explains why if you have very low output in terms of pay,
Yes.
then even the productivity has an effect.
Right.
So the person will be affected because he has to make ends meet as the head of the family or as a family person. And at the same time, the employer, he must see that the employer gets what he wants. So there will be a conflict. And that conflict is what we are seeing people agitating on, the people who are employed. Because he has the salary, yes. You need to perform, yes. But this performance is affected by the end result of the net pay.
Right. And then there's this very huge group of the Gen Zs and the youth who are saying they're not employed.
Yes.
Then the answer we get from the leadership is that, hey, we have an affordable housing program, which is not just to provide houses, but to provide jobs. How realistic is that?
You know, looking at the affordable housing law, even the way it was introduced, I believe going by the other court verdict, probably it will be scrapped, but as we stand, the way it was introduced, it was supposed to be a levy. But being a levy as it was, then that means that it's supposed to benefit the contributor. So if the contributor is not benefiting from it, then how do you justify the levy itself?
Actually, there's talk amongst the middle class.
Yes.
For lack of a better word, the working class. Maybe let me use that. They seem to be the ones paying that levy, yet they are not getting the houses. I attempted to visit the Mukuru affordable housing project. I couldn't go all the way because of the skirmishes yesterday, but I attempted to visit it. But I was stopped by residents there because they were telling me, don't even bother going there, there are no people there. And then they told me that thing is expensive. They told me that it's not affordable. Yeah, they actually told me that you need something like 5,000 per month to live in that house. And at the end of it, you could have paid around almost 1 million, 900 and something. So I was talking to them right there in around that area, you know, in Bakassi South area. They were telling me that actually the reality is if you get into that house, it's like you are upgrading. You are leaving your slum house. Your life has become better. Now you are going to a better life. And that explains why they are not moving that fast to that houses. And then they brought in something else. I don't know what your opinion would be about these unemployed youths in the country. Their agitation is we are not employed. The government has come up with the affordable housing. I don't know any other project that they have said is to give them jobs. But they have said affordable housing is geared towards giving jobs to them.
Maybe just to step in, you know, when you're talking about affordable housing, it's just like one of the social projects that the government intends to do. But even if you look at their budget, it's one of them. But you see, if you analyze it, what proportion of the professionals or people will be employed using the affordable housing? We are just talking about the engineers, the architects, the QS, the fundis, the plumbers, you know? But you know, it's not all cadres. That is just one line of professionals that will benefit from it. So if you are outside that, then what happens?
Right.
So you find there should be a better way of dealing with it.
And do you find it unfair to the working class? Is it really what they are saying, that we are the ones paying and then it's not us occupying the houses? I was told the houses have Wi-Fi. Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
The people, residents, were telling me we pay for the Wi-Fi. It's not free. And I'm told again it has hot shower. They told me, hey, come on. You can't use that shower without paying the shower. Then I don't know what else I mentioned. I mentioned 3 things. I was asking them, and they were telling me they pay. So they told me what you are doing to us is that you are actually telling us to live our slum life and upgrade. They're not looking at it like it's free. It's like you are now no longer slum dwellers. You are now a higher class people. You've come now to a higher level. And these people who are working, again, are saying, we are the ones paying, but these houses are in the slum areas. We can't, you know.
So basically, I think, okay, the intention, if you look at the whole idea and the Millennium Goal and the Vision 2030, it was a good thing because it's part of it.
Right.
But But you know now, the problem that we are trying to grapple with is implementation on how we need to deal with it.
Okay.
Because remember, even at independence,
right,
there were HCs were built. We have the Kalolenis, we have the Ayans, we have what, which were built through the assistance of, and that's also part of the housing. It was part of the housing.
Right.
So I think the way we're not getting it right is just the implementation. But the whole idea is okay.
So they should hype on it.
Yeah, that's basically.
Yeah, let's look at this other taxation, because that touches on the housing.
Yes.
You know, you're a tax expert.
Yes.
You're just telling. So for now, as we are talking, is that housing levy realistic in your opinion? Has it reached, if you were to rate it on 10, where would you put it? Obviously, it's one of the reasons why many people were demonstrating yesterday. Yeah. If you were to rate it.
Basically, I will give it a 2 mark.
Not even 5?
Not 5, because one, you know, there was contention on the rate.
Okay.
Number 2, I believe you know I think there was court pronouncement on the same. I think, was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Right.
On the same. How it is going to be implemented, that I don't know, but I know there are still issues surrounding it. So basically, looking at it, I'll give it 2%.
2 out of 10. Wow. Okay. Let's go to this other levy, this other tax, SHA.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Again, remember, we are coming from NHIF to SHA.
Right.
And the whole idea was to upgrade and make NHIF better by introducing SHA.
Right.
And then also the other issue about SHA was about making sure that the loopholes that were in NHIF were sealed.
Yeah.
But incidentally, none of this appears to be working, because everybody is complaining. You go to the hospital, it is that, it is this. So basically,
have you ever used it yourself? Have you used SHA?
No, I have not had the chance to use it.
Okay, but before you've used NHIF?
Yes, I did.
NHIF, many people say was functioning.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I used NHIF.
Okay.
I've not used SHA.
Okay, it's true.
Okay. So we are just lacking examples?
Sure.
Have you met people who have said it has worked?
No, from the people that I meet is just complain.
Okay.
One after the other.
Okay. So as a tax expert, what would you say about which way SHA, and this I'm looking at it this way, SHA in itself is a system, is it?
Yes.
It's a system. The very system.
It's a scheme,
It's a scheme.
Yeah.
No, but there is one that is a system, a computer program.
Oh, yes.
And then SHIF is a whole place. It's like, I'm looking at SHA like just a computer program owned by several companies. Yes. I think to be handed over to Kenyans after 10 years. Am I right? But as we are moving on, the money we are paying is going to these particular companies because they sold it to Kenyans. Yeah.
Yes.
Misstep, is that where the bone of contention is? Where is the real bone of contention? Is it in who owns SHA, or is it in the delivery, or is it just in everything?
To me, it starts with the inception, to operationalization of the same, and finally to delivery.
So the whole thing is messed up.
Is messed up from the beginning to the point when it's supposed to be implemented, the point when it's supposed to be delivered. That's why you hear sometimes the systems are working, sometimes it's not working, sometimes it's this.
So if I was President William Ruto right now, seated here, what would you tell me to do about it? Tax expert. I'm trying to get your mind on it.
As a tax expert on this, it would be very simple.
Yeah.
Reform, put serious reforms on what already, because already we have disbursed NHIF, so we can't go back to it.
Okay.
Put necessary reforms that is supposed to be done on the same, so that we correct it.
And these reforms are touching on what and what?
The reforms are touching on the system, as you have put it, correctly put it, on the deliveries as per, NHF used to put it like this. If for this card is supposed to be for 1, 2, 3.
Right.
But now SHA, the way it is designed, is such that if it reaches this level, it is this. If it reaches this level, it's something really not still working.
Okay.
You remember even the other nurse that had an issue?
Right.
And the other people that always have had a public outcry. So I believe that if the institution of SHA is supposed to be redone in terms of, there was an issue at inception, can that be corrected now that you are there?
Yeah.
At the point of delivery, can we correct it?
So let's say Kenyans did not have issues with payee from the beginning. They seemed to be okay with payee.
Yes.
They also seemed to be okay with NSSF.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so?
Not very okay, because you remember the NSSF rates have also been increased.
Yes.
And that's part of the outcry. But it's because it's something that was initiated there before. Not even with the current regime.
Uh-huh.
It was in the past regime where these proposals were made and they had to stretch over a period of time. But it only comes to align when now the current regime is in power.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically they have a problem now with housing tax,
mm-hmm.
and there you suggest serious reforms.
Correct.
They have a problem with the other one is which is the other one?
NSSF, sorry.
NSSF. Then there's another one.
Which again, NSSF is something that was instituted in the past regime, and it's just this time has come.
Okay. So when we are talking about politicians,
mm-hmm.
this is politics. Mm-hmm. We've had cases of departments, ministries that are looking quote unquote pro-government, getting very well attended to in terms of funding.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the politics? Are we really politicizing division of revenue? Are we politicizing? What has brought us here?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you've spoken about overtaxation,
yes,
bringing people to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to look at it this way. Mm-hmm. What would be the right politics now?
Mm-hmm.
Because truth be told,
mm-hmm.
people have to be taxed
yes.
for the nation to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the right kind of politics? And I know you are also having a bit of politics in your...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So go on.
Basically, the right thing to do is let accountability be there. When we talk about the politics,
mm-hmm.
Politics is basically an allocation of resources.
Right.
And politics is a very sensitive matter. And it starts from the household, even to yourself as an individual.
Yes.
So that's the reason why at times we say you must have a meeting with yourself.
Yes.
At the time when you have a meeting with yourself, you're politicking. Because you're trying to allocate 1 through 3. So in my view, mm-hmm. the politics is about allocation of resources. It's the struggle for allocation of resources. So that's why you see people camping from this camp to this camp, mm-hmm. just trying to get this. But if that accountability is there, then definitely we'll have a formula of allocating resources, and we'll go by that formula and things will be right.
Right.
But because the nature of politics is about trying to get the maximum. And as other scholars once said, a human being is a brutal person unless checked by law.
Mm.
So now when we look at the character of a human being, we have talked about politicians, that's why I'm putting the issue of the human being.
Right.
So if that is a character of a human being, it's supposed to be checked by law.
Mm.
And that law is the one who bends it.
Yesterday there was a talk around town,
yes.
Fagia water. Did you hear that thing?
Yeah, I heard about it.
This Gen Zs was saying they need all these people
mm-hmm.
to go,
mm-hmm.
and it is only on one thing,
mm-hmm.
money.
Mm-hmm.
It's all on, you would hear the talk of Wheezy.
Yes.
You hear that word?
Yes.
It's like it is all about resources. Is that all? It's like if you get it right on resources, we wouldn't be here. Am I right?
Definitely. And what we need is accountability, nothing more.
Is it really possible?
To some level, because some people have done it, why not us?
Because the question now, these people, the Gen Zs in the streets yesterday, they were saying, fagia wote. I would imagine it's the level of frustration.
Yes.
We can never be out of this.
I seriously believe we can if we so wish, because about the will to do it. It's not about we can't manage it. We can. Why are other people managing it and succeeding while us we are not? So I'm very certain that if we improve on the level of accountability, then we'll not see such kind of things.
You've heard of David Maraga, definitely.
Yes, former CJ.
Yeah, you've heard of the likes of these other leaders, Kalonzo.
Yes.
And all that. And the Gen Zs yesterday, when they were talking, there was another angle that they were bringing. They are not just looking about their own. They are looking at somebody who would bring ethics.
Yes.
They were talking about ethics. And it seemed to me that this ethics was landing on someone who is not corrupt.
Yes.
And there was talk of looting. These are looters. I don't know if you heard that word.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yes. So as we wind up the show today, I want you to just speak to the leadership as a tax expert.
Yes.
Yeah. Just speak to the leadership. Maybe they would listen, because yesterday someone was talking of, is someone really hearing what we are talking about? Do we have to get to the streets for someone to actually listen to this? Yeah. From what you've spoken. Yeah.
Just to sum up on what we had spoken earlier.
Yes.
The whole idea that I would give to the leadership of this country is that other countries have managed, we can also manage it. Kindly, the leadership should sit down, listen to the people, let accountability level be raised. The chapter 6 of the issue of integrity, you see, is in the law.
Right.
Let us raise the bar. Let us follow it. Because once that is done, I'm very certain most of these things will have shorted out. But a human being without proper laws in place will still behave the same way. To the leadership, please let us listen to the people so that we don't see what we saw yesterday. And in the last budget, you remember,
right?
We already have allocations of what is supposed to go to Parliament, Judiciary, and the Executive. Why can't level of accountability be on board so that we don't see such kind of scenarios? If the resources are supposed to be used on Kenya and they're used well, I'm certain will not the Gen Zs that are looking for work, there will be an enabling environment. Remember when the other former president was there?
Yeah.
Mwai Kibaki. There was a lot of space. What happened? There was an enabling environment. He did the micro so well. So why can't we do the micro so that we make people feel that they're part of this country, so that the environment, the business environment can also grow, so that the issue of the looting becomes non-existent, because everybody will be working and getting something for himself. I think that will sort us out.
Right.
Because I also know that a government cannot deploy 100%. But when an enabling environment is in place, then that means that the government is able to absorb its other people on other informal sectors. And that makes the business.
Tell me, what is this enabling environment? What is this enabling environment looking like? Yeah, in your opinion.
Enabling environment, one, is making, when we talk about for tenders, for example.
Yeah.
If you're doing tendering,
yes,
let it be on board so that whoever wins correctly. And then once he wins, the net effect of that will trickle down to the other people. If you talk about the laws,
right,
let the laws be used as written and not selectively.
Right.
Because when they're not, like you remember when there was riot yesterday,
yeah,
there was a looting that happened.
Yeah.
Who was supposed to take care of the Kenyans? Remember, Kenyan has gotten a loan.
Losses yesterday. You saw the looting in the supermarket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how will you cover that? And remember, that supermarket, for example, employs people. So when such a thing happens, so that means if it's not insured, then chances are that people will lose job, and those people will again come back to the street.
Which towns were these? I think I saw one in Nyeri.
Yeah, there was Nyeri, I think I saw.
Many towns actually.
Yeah.
Supermarkets. Yeah. People carrying televisions.
Yes.
All that. Very sad.
I think even Nairobi there were.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's very sad.
Yeah, Rongai also experienced.
So with that kind of loot,
yes,
don't you think that if maybe the investor didn't insure, chances are that some people will also lose job?
Yeah.
And the percentage again will join the Gen Zs because of unemployment.
Yeah.
And the cycle continues.
Exactly.
But if things were to be done in the way they ought to be, if the laws are supposed to be used the way they should be used and correctly implied, then that means we'll have the corrective measures in all sectors. And that is the enabling that we are talking about. You know, it is the correction of laws, the following of laws, that make sure that even the micros in the business setup will wake up.
Yeah. Because I can't think the kind of losses now that people are dealing with in the aftermath. I'm looking at Mombasa,
yes,
Nairobi, of course,
yes,
a lot of looting. Eldoret,
yes,
I had people on ground
correct,
telling me it was quite terrible.
Intense.
I called Kitale, and there was a lot of looting and shooting in Matisi area, specifically of Kitale. You see, it goes on and on. I don't even want to talk about Kisumu, but yes, Kisumu was relatively peaceful, even though there were goons moving around. So quite a heavy day. These are things which we need to look at. I want to bring you here again. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much. So come again and talk to us about capital gains tax.
Thank you.
We have been with the tax expert, James Amwono, NEP Tax Consortium. This has been Politics Today. Wherever you are, stay safe. Make sure you are doing the correct thing, trying to come back to normalcy. Yes. Our sign language interpreter has been Esther Kendi. You can follow us on Science TV on YouTube. You can follow us on all the platforms, TikTok. Come to us, follow us on Instagram, all the platforms, Science TV. Thank you so much. See you next week on the Treasures of Life show. On Politics Today. Bye-bye.
Thank you.